someone who has the proper lineage to become a member of USAR, but who doesn't have the education, isn't aware of it.
They would be somebody of Moroccan descent born in America, which makes them Moorish Americans.
Correct.
So as you can hear our president say, we are Moroccan descent born in America, which make us Moorish Americans. And the FBI agent says, correct, you are correct, right? Bow.
Yes, they would be somebody of Moroccan descent born in America, which makes them Moorish Americans.
Correct. So
in America, guess what? It's the same way for us. It's the same way. We have to make a choice.
When you talk about filing, when somebody, who is past the age of 18 discovers the U.S.A.R., they file these expatriation papers, but it's not repatriation papers, but it's not a true expatriation process. They just didn't know that the option was available when they were 18. Am I understanding that correct?
Exactly. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. They're not being taught this. They don't know. And when you read Aliens and Immigration Act, it's telling you that the United States is saying clearly that we won't say that people are immoral because they say that they're United States citizens. They're saying it right in Aliens and Immigration because they know a lot of people are going to grow up and really think that they're United States citizens. They're not lying when they say that they are. They just don't know that they're not. They just don't know.
So I have one last question.
So do you understand being African American, black, Negro, colored, etc., all the slave brands, you are not citizens, okay? Dred Scott case, people of African descent can never be citizens of the United States. Bow.
We call our people the ancient ones. So we were part of the tribe of Ali, which is actually the oldest Indian tribe in America, was the Ali tribe. We lived up and down the Mississippi River. And a great war occurred between the Algonquin tribe and other nations that wanted to come across the Mississippi River. And our people ended up losing that war. And when they lost that war, we broke down into the Choctaw, the Cherokee, the Algonquin, and other different native tribes that people call different native tribes today. But
how does
that tie into what?
The Moroccan descent.
How does it tie into the Moroccan descent? Because
the ancient American, North American.
Because America is Morocco. Because this is Al Morocco. This country got many names. Turtle Island, Frog Island, Al Morocco, North America. It has many names. It's not, at one time that everything was called Pangea. Africa was attached to this continent. So it's only crazy for anybody to think that the entire continent of Africa was attached to this continent and wasn't none of our people here. That's not common sense. That's not good thinking at all.
I see. So when you say Morocco, you're not referring to the current location of Morocco. You're talking about
the kingdom. You're talking about the kingdom of Morocco, which is in North Africa. And again, it's called the Kingdom of Morocco. Just like you got the British Empire, and then you have the British Kingdoms. The British Kingdoms are the other offshoot countries that fall under the British Empire, and it's the same thing here.
Not only was the Earthland one landmass at one time, and if you separated Africa and North America, you would see that would be the northwestern part of Africa. However, like Dr. Khalid said, Africa was our throne, not our home. So northwest of Mexico would be provincial of Mexico.
Come on, man. Slaves ain't built no White House. We did. We built all this. Moors did, baby. Ancient Morocco. Now, I'm going to go back to this, because remember, if the new Morocco was founded in 1952, then there must have been the people that purchased this land and took the Jerusalem from over here and threw it over there. They took Morocco from over here and threw it over there, because we can find letters from George Washington writing to the Sultan of Morocco. So if the Morocco that's established over there in 1952, if that was just established, then this must have been the Morocco he was writing to. That's why they got Cahokia, Illinois.
As you can see, Morocco Kingdom established 1956. Bow. And as you can see, December 1st, 1789, George Washington to the Sultan of Morocco. Bow.
The empire, which is here.
And I'm sorry if this sounds like a dumb question, but when you talk about these ancient wars in the Mississippi Valley, how do you, this is all new to me, how is that something that you became aware of?
I mean, this is public information. You're in the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is the learning age. Everything that was hidden in the dark and whispered in the closet in secret is manifesting to the light and being yelled from rooftop to rooftop. So if anybody that don't know these things, they're just not trying to know these things. Because the information is out here that anybody could learn any of this stuff and verify it through history. You know, we still celebrating Christopher Columbus' birthday like he really discovered America. Come on, when are we going to stop playing games? We got to get real. That's the only way that people heal is through truth, and that's the way people heal, by truth coming out.
Well, we're
not running around. You know, we're not running around asking for reparations. we're trying to be responsible citizens, which is good civics, which unfortunately for me wasn't taught in my school. Might have been taught in the school you went to, I don't know. But in my school, they never taught us civics. Fortunately for me, wasn't taught in my school. Might have been taught in the school you went to, I don't know. But in my school, they never taught us civics. So thanks to the Honorable Prophet Noah Jew Ali, who enshrouded civics within the Moorish Temple of America, allowed me to learn citizenship and understand government and to understand what it means to be a state citizen, which means to be active in your...
Being a state citizen is it. But here's the key to the freedom right here. Here does it go right here. Here go the bomb.
In that digest, law summary book, you have to go look it up like I'm doing to see the whole thing in complete detail. And here's what it says. Through the medium of their legislature,
through the legislator,
exercise all the powers.
See, through the medium of the legislator, it may access all its powers. Through the legislator, not us individually. The nation, the state has to do it. The state, us collectively. Only if we gotta save each other without, and this was Noble Jew Ali kicking in. We gotta, to save ourselves, we gotta save each other. We all gotta be, we all have to, sovereignty represents a people, not an individual. Doesn't work like that.
Through the medium of their legislature, they may exercise all the powers, which previous to the revolution could have been exercised either by the king or by him in conjunction with his parliaments. Wow.
See that?
Wow, interesting, huh? Well, that's what we all taught all of us in our high school civics classes, right? That the legislature makes all the laws, represents all of us.
See?
Collectively, we're sovereign.
Collectively.
Not individually.
Collectively.
Represents all of us. Collectively, we're sovereign. Not individually.
So now you see all these Moors that ain't what U.S.A.R, right? And they're doing their own thing. And they're like, no, we could do it like this. We could do it like this. No, you don't know. No, you not sovereign by yourself, bro. You can't do that. The law doesn't say that. You're freestyling. Put a beat on. Stop freestyling.
Yeah, you know, we understand jurisdiction as far as the state of Colorado and the District of Colorado are two different jurisdictions. District of Colorado is federal jurisdiction. State of Colorado is the state of Colorado's jurisdiction. So we also have a jurisdiction which is the provinces.
Okay.
So
when I think
we have it in different departments.
When I think of a nation inside of a state, the ones that come to mind are, say, the Basque people in Spain and France, or potentially Palestinians inside of Israel. Those are what I think of as being nations inside of another state.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you think about so-called so-called Negro, colored, black, and African American people who are not United States citizens? What do you think? What would you say that they are?
So this is what I'm trying to understand. I would have considered anyone born in the United States to be a United States citizen, but you're telling me that's not correct.
That's not what the 14th Amendment say. The 14th Amendment, what they did with the 14th Amendment for black people, so-called black people in America, is created a legal status for black people in America, which is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, and also they are a resident of the state in which they reside. So right there, they're telling you that, okay, so we did this 14th Amendment to secure certain rights for so-called Negro, colored, black, and African American people that they don't have, that all other United States citizens have, right? So it's real simple to determine that Negro, colored, black, and African American people are not United States citizens, besides going to the Dred Scott case, which was never overturned. Though some people think the 14th Amendment overturned it, it did not overturn it. All they did was created a legal status for them and made them residents in the state they reside in, and subjected them to the jurisdiction of the United States government, because certain things was not done by them to achieve their true freedom. And so when you read the Emancipation Proclamation,
yeah, the Dred Scott case, that's the one where the slave was brought north, and then they made him go,
put him back in slavery, and
slave owner. Is that Dred Scott? Okay, yeah. Okay, something like that.
And said that people of African descent could never be United States citizens. Okay, so now this is just, I'm just saying, this common sense, this real simple. Chinese come to America, Polish, German, Russian, whatever, come to America and become United States citizens. Guess what? They get to vote. Though Negro, colored, black, and African American people are born here and are considered to be United States citizens, but for some strange reason, every 20 years they have to pass and vote on them being allowed to vote, which lets you know that they're not United States citizens. Not only does that let you know that they're not United States citizens, but Aliens and Immigration is telling you that they're not United States citizens. So a United States national is a United States citizen, or a person, though not a United States citizen, but who owes a permanent allegiance to the United States. We are those people that owes a permanent allegiance to the United States, because in the treaty that our people have with the United States government, we would never take an enemy side against the United States, foreign or domestic.
Okay, and that's the Moroccan treaty that I'm about.
1836, which is still in effect right now. They signed it every 50 years. Last time it was signed was 1987.
Blacks cannot be citizens of the United States. In a sense, Dred Scott can't even sue because he's not an American. This is one of the best examples of this notion of blacks as aliens. Even though he's born here and everything, he is not an American. The American family, as Tony says, is for white people. And in the most famous sentence in that decision, he says, a black man has no rights which a white man is bound to respect. Now, he's not saying blacks can be killed with impunity. What he's saying is, legally speaking, they are not part of the body politic. They are not part of we the people that created the Constitution, and therefore they're just outside of the system. So they don't have any...
In the state of Georgia, where I currently reside, that I should be able to pull up the driver's license, something about the driver's license and probate.
You reside now? You're a resident, right?
Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Not a citizen.
Yeah, of course I'm a citizen.
No, you're a resident. You said it right the first time.
Yeah, I'm a resident.
Two things can be true at the same time. Stop it.
No, they cannot. No, they cannot.
Man, that's garbage.
The 14th Amendment created a new class of citizenship in the United States, a second-class citizenship. Up until 1868, every American was a paramount citizen of their state, and by virtue of that, also a citizen of the United States, with full individual sovereignty as guaranteed by Amendments 9 and 10 in the Bill of Rights.
Men and women whose freedom has been curtailed, are they not still property? Right. I mean, we
say every day, we in the classroom, we were property. No, take word off.
We still are property.
We still are property.
Especially.
Now they said we the people. The we the people they were not talking about black folk. No place in the Constitution they call black folk people. Black folk were defined in the Constitution as being property, as being 3/5 of a human being. They were dehumanized and left as non-civilized human beings, and that they would be equal to field animals.
Idea like, yo, we're the only people in this nation that had to fight to be human. We're proper. We looked at still, and that's the idea of being animals on their scale.
And also it said that you were a citizen of the United States if you were first a citizen of a state. And so, of course, the problem for blacks at that time was they weren't citizens of any state.
Is the only thing required of you because you never became a United States citizen at no time and never can they even prove that you are a United States citizen because you never did what? You never followed the law that's required for you to gain United States citizenship. Okay? You are only a resident residing here. You're stateless. But what we're going to do, because y'all being so-called African-American, Negro, colored, black, whatever you want to call yourself, because y'all have not formed back into a state government, and because you have no government official.
And so therefore we don't tell our people to overthrow the United States government. We don't tell them to overthrow the Constitution of the United States government, but to line up with the Constitution of the United States government. And in order for us to line up with that Constitution, it means we too, like all other citizens here, must be national citizens because the Constitution is written for national citizens.
Okay. President Cannon, I pulled up the schedule of fees here, and this is actually one of the reasons I was a little nervous knocking on your door, Evelyn, no offense. But it lists some fees for specific infractions, I guess would be one. And I'm just pulling off the infraction of an unsolicited interrogation. I hope this doesn't feel like an interrogation. But so in theory, if a U.S.A.R. citizen is stopped and detained and interrogated by a FBI agent or an Arapahoe County deputy, that deputy or FBI agent would then owe the U.S.A.R. national $50,000 for the interrogation. Is that a correct statement?
It could be very well could be possible, yes. It could lead to that. It's not necessary to say that we would implement that, depending on what's going on. And most nationals
Did you see the respect? Do you hear the respect that the federal agent got for Paris? Calling him president and say, hey, look, I ain't trying to alarm nobody. I ain't trying to get sued or nothing, but hey, bow.
Because, when you became an FBI agent, I'm pretty sure y'all got some type of non-disclosure agreement. And there's certain things that you can't reveal or divulge certain information or talk about certain things with outside entities outside of the federal government. You know what I'm saying?
Everything you see on Criminal Minds is true.
I think so. If somebody who was not a member of USAR violated a USAR, a statute of the USAR Constitution, then how is that dealt with? Well, that's why we're establishing law enforcement right now. It will be dealt with the same way the federal government deals with dirty police or police that's out here doing things that they shouldn't do, or citizens breaking the laws of the United States. By us being the national citizens and this being our country, after a while, we would be the ones that determine the civil statuses of the immigrants and aliens that's in our country. So in the end, we'll be the ones that's determining who is a resident alien, who's an alien, who is a citizen, and who is this and who is that. You understand what I'm saying? So the overall objective is to meet our requirements, being in partnership with the United States government, because it is a partnership between our government and the United States government. It is a partnership. And we just haven't been doing what we're supposed to do. But now we're waking up to start doing what we're supposed to do with the government of our citizens and allowing the United States government to continue to do what it's been doing, which is the governing of and acting as trustee for the indigenous people here, as well as the United States citizens that come here under their power and authority under the United States government to comply with all laws on this continent. the United States laws, the state laws, as well as the United States of America Republic laws. And we expect for our citizens to do the same.
So y'all hear who the national government is, what our duty's gonna be in the future, right? Everything's okay. FBI, okay. Bow.
We're now here for if they do break the law, that we can deal with them accordingly in our own court.
Is there a criminal code section of your law?
Yes, it is. It's very expensive too. And you will find that our criminal code is basically almost the same as the United States criminal code.
Okay. So if as a law enforcement officer, if somebody who is a member of U.S.A.R. did something to break what we would consider a United States government law, how would you want me as a law enforcement officer to deal with that? Is that something I should report to?
I mean,
So we on point, Moabs. The federal agents is asking prayers if a USAR national breaks the law. How does he want them to handle it? You understand? How do you want us to go about this? You hearing right. Bow.
Somebody who is a member of U.S.A.R. did something to break what we would consider a United States government law. How would you want me as a law enforcement officer to deal with that? Is that something I should report to?
I mean, by all means, we want the overall objective is to achieve order at all costs, to maintain law and order at all costs. So if it's a Moorish national that's doing something that is like, let's say this guy's robbing a store, we don't think that you should not arrest him because he's a Moorish national. No, by all means, arrest him, take him to jail. But when you get him there, we're looking for you to contact this government, and we can come and deal with that issue under our own laws and take them before our court and gather the evidence that was gathered and to adjudicate him under our own laws for that.
How will we necessarily know if someone is, other than them potentially telling us that? Well, I don't know if we can rely on that. How would we know if someone is a U.S.A.R. citizen?
Well, one, they should have their identification, and two, it's written in our laws under foreign relations. You can see that what you would do is just contact this government. And it's also written in our state constitution that the person can simply state that they're a Moorish national, but it has to be verified later by a phone call writing from the government concerned. So we would still have to verify that.
So in our foreign relation laws, their government must contact our government if one of our nationals or citizens break one of their laws. Understand? That's why you hear our nationals and our citizens, if they ever come in contact with the foreign government, they say, please contact my government. So please uphold our laws just like we uphold y'all's. Bow.
But it has to be verified later by a phone call writing from the government concerned. So we would still have to verify that individual is an actual citizen under the state government.
So you would provide some sort of official documentation. Then you would take custody of the person and try them separately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not seeing the website in the packet. That's what I was looking for. Well, I apologize if I seem a little slow on the uptake, but it is a lot to process.
Oh, trust and believe. I know.
I think this is really helpful. And I think, a lot of times open dialogue is the best way to avoid misunderstanding because, and as long as you understand one another, it's a lot easier to know how to interact correctly. When there's confusion, there's just too much room for misunderstandings, and misunderstandings can create all kinds of problems, and that's what we're trying. That's why we're here. That's why we're trying to avoid those things. I hope we haven't, done any harm to anybody, or stepped on any toes by knocking on your door. This has been very helpful for us, and I think that this is something we definitely welcome follow-up conversations as we figure this out and read a little bit more of the website. We may come up with additional, things that we'd like to ask follow-up questions if that's something you're amenable. Okay. That's fine.
Peace and love to the federal government. So as y'all can see, head of state, C. Cannon Bay. Salute to the president, man. Now, y'all still don't believe, right? All right, let's go to IRS. Before we go to Homeland Security, let's see what IRS got to say about U.S.A.R. Bow.
This is what we did. This state government, right? Okay, so it's a state government, right? We can weed past all of that. Y'all seen our charter. You have adopted a constitution and have formed a sovereign nation state of D. A sovereign nation state of D, which is the Moorish American national. So what is U.S.A.R? A sovereign nation state of D, the Moorish American nationals, man. So the game is over, man. Make sure y'all share this out. The game is over. Tag your preacher. It's over. It's over, okay? And they list all the things we could do. So our vehicles is straight. Bureau of Motor Vehicles, we straight. Okay? Okay? And I just gotta put the cherry on top with this right here, okay? So everybody that think, oh, y'all just a LLC, y'all just a business. Y'all just a business. Y'all doing all, look, your main source of financial support will come from your taxpayers who are citizens. Citizens, not members. You feel me? Citizens of D. What's D? Come on, y'all know what D is. Come on, man. We Moorish American nationals. We just national citizens of America.
Now, y'all seen and heard how the FBI was talking. Now, y'all just read the letter from the IRS to U.S.A.R, right? Sovereign nation state, right? Bow. Still don't believe? Huh? All right, well, let's see what Homeland Security got to say.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Nice
How are
meeting
you? Nice to meet you too.
Under these circumstances, unfortunately. Yeah.
Right.
I just want to take a picture. So, since you guys are basically, your home is, you're based in Illinois, you guys should have 325 cars in New Jersey.
So who you guys hear is my brother Mike from Homeland Security. Honest to Mike, man, in Homeland Security. He upholds his oath to the Constitution. Much love. But yeah, we had a situation in Jersey City. One of my cars had a little altercation. Mike came through, gave me my plates. My dad had a state of New Jersey resident ID. And this is why I know personally about the jurisdiction. He was a resident, so he got to abide by them statutes and codes. Not I. Bow.
I was saying, once he presented that to me,
right,
he's saying that he's a resident of the state of New Jersey, and then that's the problem.
Right.
He has to, because
absolutely,
now he's saying he lives here.
Right, absolutely.
So this, like I said, start with that, Burlington, and then work your way up, and I'll, whatever contacts I can get you, I'll shoot it to you.
Appreciate
and then it's not going to be an easy thing, but it's going to take a little time.
And I'm with that, Mike. You know, I'm with the fight. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's kind of something I plan on wanting to do.
Call that's my phone.
So as you hear my brother Mike, being as though my dad presented that state of New Jersey resident ID, he has to. You see how he made it clear? He said he has to. So he know it ain't, it don't apply to me, man. I'm a national. Bow.
We're gonna go to court, obviously, because I can't drop the other tickets.
Right.
Because he presented that New Jersey DL.
Right.
Like we talked about, me and you, we're gonna sit in court. We'll talk to the.
So you hear Homeland Security, my brother Mike. He presented that state of New Jersey resident ID, so he got to go to court. You understand? But we're going to talk to the prosecutor, and he did. Got a drop from my dad. Appreciate the brother. Peace and love. And before I send him off the way and we be done with Homeland Security, Pete what he said about U.S.A.R after he did his research. Bow.
The road, and that's not fair to you. That's not fair to your family. That's not fair to anybody wasting the court system.
Right.
Maybe in that time, they could figure out, because you're totally different from the sovereign people.
Right.
Like we explained. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's get this done for you between me and you. We'll get it done. I'll bring the release. Talk to Maine. Get it out of Maine, and then whatever you do with that license plate, I didn't see anything. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because
sir. So that's the FBI. That's the IRS. That's Homeland Security. Y'all still don't believe U.S.A.R real? All right, let's take it to the court. We're going to show y'all how we demonstrate in court. Bow.
Oh, sir, no, sir. 521, okay. The city will accept this as compliant insurance before the date.
And what about the license?
The license is also valid in the province of Wisconsin. There's a Motion City non-suit on all 4 counts. The other 2 are at fault tickets with no evidence of an accident.
No. Okay. So, Mr. Shabazz, all of your counts have been dismissed. Today, you have a good day.
Islam.
So y'all see that in the province of Illinois. Driving license from U.S.A.R valid. Insurance from U.S.A.R valid. Registration from U.S.A.R valid. All charges drop. Dismiss. Bow. We ain't done. One more.
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Let me see if I can find your file. Were you charged with something?
I was given 3 tickets, one for no insurance, one for not possessing a driver's license, and another one for fictitious plates. Come to court for this, and now you're telling me this has nothing to do with it, and it's just nothing that you can do, when this is the reason why they took the vehicle.
I have no control over you getting the car back. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know what they told you, but it was improper for them to tell you that if you come to court, I have the power to have that car released. I do not.
This is crazy.
The only thing that I have the power to do is dismiss your tickets, which I'm doing.
Okay, I understand that. For one, those tickets were given under the wrong license anyway. Those are under...
I'm dismissing the tickets. You already won. You're arguing to me. You already won. I'm dismissing all of the tickets.
My wife cold, ain't she? Got that prosecutor waving that white flag, man. Hey, you won. Hey, you won, okay? So understand, Burlington City Police, everything is being dismissed. Everything is valid. You have no charges to bring up. You're wasting your time in court, and I'm going to sue you every single time. This is your prosecutor talking, right? What he say, okay? So when you see us come through with these plates, right, and our registration and our insurance, your big dog already told you what's up. The national government is woke. United States of America Republic. Bow.
Those are under...
I'm dismissing the tickets. You already won. You're arguing to me. You already won. I'm dismissing all of the tickets.
And I appreciate that.
So as y'all can see, man, FBI, Homeland Security, IRS, we demonstrating in court. Everything's getting dismissed. Everything's valid. Shout out C. Cannon Bay, man, head of state, man. U.S.A.R, man. Long live the Republic. Bow.